What's up, everybody? I'm David Hain. Welcome to episode 139 of the A to D from Addict to Disciple podcast. I'd like to give a big shout out to our new listeners from the Ukraine. That brings our total to 59 countries. If you like this podcast, please like, subscribe, follow, and share the link with your friends, or click on the support link in this episode's description. Your donation of any amount could change a life. If you'd like to get our curriculum, you can get the paperback or ebook of From Ashes to Destiny on Amazon. When we come back, we'll get into this episode entitled, Is Social Media Your New Drug of Choice? Welcome back to episode 139 of the A to D from Addict to Disciple podcast entitled, Is Social Media Your New Drug of Choice? Today's episode is another group session, and my regular listeners know that I send out questions to a group of guys in recovery from the U.S., South Africa, and Australia. They send back their answers, and I reenact it as if we're having a live group. As before, I'll be keeping them anonymous, but I'll be saying their answers as if we're doing the group live. So guys, here's your topic for today. It was suggested by Charlie, so he'll introduce it for us. Charlie, thanks so much for bringing this topic to the other guys in the group today. My pleasure, David. So guys, here's the topic. Social media in addiction can be a place to vent, force people to listen, feel wanted or unwanted. It can really be a place that fuels the emotions that cause people to hurt and want to numb. Does it do the same in recovery, or does it become a new addiction that leads people to recurrences? Why do most people in recovery say they are giving it up, but ultimately come back to it? Is social media a drug, a mind-altering substance for those of us in recovery? Wow. Great topic, Charlie. Ben, you want to start us off? What are your thoughts on Charlie's idea? Well, David and Charlie, like with anything, if there's not discipline and it's allowed to live in excess throughout your life, then social media, like substances, can be addictive. I believe there's a rush of serotonin released when you see a higher number of likes on your post or a lot of people commenting, and you get caught up in living in that rush of response from other people to something you've put out there. With that said, though, if we keep the right mindset and discipline at the forefront, then I believe social media can be used for great good. I have personally gone back and forth between using it for something to encourage people and allowing it to stay in the traffic lane. But then I also find myself mindlessly scrolling and getting caught up in the garbage end of social media. At the end of the day, I think it is something a person has to sit down with themselves and hit the restart button and ask themselves, why am I doing this? Is it to be a promoter of sobriety, recovery, and engagement and encouragement? Or have I gotten caught up in the drama of it all? And then I'm finding a sense of worth and accomplishment based on the responses I get to my most recent post. So true, Ben. I agree that it's really important to keep checking ourselves to see if we're getting caught up in the hype and drama of social media. Harry, what do you think? Well, David, for me personally and a few other friends, social media has been a dangerous platform. Sharing our experiences with the intent that our story can have someone relate to the similar circumstances, or the hope that our story will be an encouragement to others to stop, is what we aim for. But there are some sick-minded people out there who get a kick out of befriending people like us and try to lure us back to using again. There's some insane individuals who thrive on causing pain or hurt to others, and that's a fact in our society today. I've seen many wrong people meeting on social media and starting adulterous relationships as they believe the lies they tell each other. Don't get me wrong, social media is an excellent medium used in the correct way. The unfortunate side to it, though, is that people do get addicted to the various platforms and social media sites. They're on their phones or devices all the time, and there's no communication between themselves and the loved ones that are sitting in the same home with them. So I think we need to keep a balance here. Sure. Good point, Harry. We need to be cautious that we don't isolate ourselves from the in-person relationships we have by replacing them with social media communication. Gary, have you experienced this? Yes, David. This is an interesting and, may I say, relevant topic, since social media is occupying an ever-increasing role in people's everyday existence, particularly with the impressionable youth of today. The way I see it, guys, we all have a deep need to be acknowledged, to feel that we're not alone, and also to feel that you were created for something more, for a definite purpose that transcends which we inevitably subject ourselves to in the course of a lifetime. The kind of life that most have pursued, which has long ago developed into a pattern as a lifestyle, is chasing those things that are really expected of us. A good example of this is growing up into the lifestyle that our parents wanted for us. But I think individually we are all imbued with the need to be heard, to find meaningful expression in an increasingly indifferent world around us. However, we find our individual expressions mostly stifled. Social media then provides a platform for self-expression and resultant popularity. But the danger in this exists as our hunger for acceptance and affirmation can turn social media into an addiction. In the end, we can grow up feeling accepted, but actually devoid of real healthy personal relationships. And for recovering addicts, social media can have a destabilizing effect, as it can subject us to a roller coaster ride of emotions like anger, rejection, betrayal, humiliation. All of these rob recovering addicts of their peace. Shaw, you've hit a chord there, Gary. Many guys in recovery are still addicted to that need for acceptance and affirmation and turn to social media to comfort that need and end up just stirring up negative emotions when we feel rejected by those in social media. Eddie, what do you think? I agree, David. For me, the saying goes, you leave one addiction for another, whether good or bad. It's like the story of the two wolves fighting inside of you, the good wolf and the bad wolf. The one you feed is the one who wins. Social media can be positive or a negative platform, depending on the content you start feeding yourself, which wolf you're feeding. Maturity gets you choosing the content that will enrich and grow you. But again, too much of anything is not good for you. The devil finds work for idle minds. Don't let him alter your destiny. Wow. Good warning there, Eddie. Addiction to social media may not just be an amusement or a pastime. It may end up altering our very destiny. Dante, would you like to close us out today? Sure would, David. The fact that people who utilize Facebook or any social media platform are called a user is sort of the first giveaway for me. I often will notice how I will look up from my Instagram feed and magically 45 minutes just disappeared for the first stretch of my morning. Social media can be a good thing, and it can be used in a great way. But social media, just like alcohol, just like driving at fast speeds, should only be done in moderation and in safe circumstances. You can get utterly lost in social media, and it can become a drug because it does alter your mind, and it does alter your motive thinking because of the quick snapshots, the lack of reality, and time that we normally need to take to process some things just vanishes when we're looking at multiple images and videos in such a short time frame. We could look at maybe 10 or 15 images in a couple of seconds based on the speed of scrolling. And what it is or what it is not, that tends to just catch our interest and keep us occupied. Yes, I believe social media is a drug that can be helpful, but overused and abused can be very harmful. Way to close this out there, Dante. And thanks so much, guys. And thanks again, Charlie, for bringing this topic for our group session today. You've given us all a lot to think about. Thanks for listening to this episode of the A to D from Addict to Disciple podcast. If you would like to join an online group or get one-on-one counseling to help you as you evaluate your social media use or abuse, please message me on the link in this podcast or by email at davidfromatod@gmail.com, or go to my website, www.fromatod.org, and click on the contact page. You can also keep in touch with what we're doing in From A to D by following me on Instagram at David From A to D. And for you guys listening on Spotify, please leave your comments on the link that they provide right there on your listening platform. Tune in Monday for our next episode, and as always, stay safe and stay strong.